Hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is Eve, and yes, the real Eve, so I'm back. So do me a little favor and drop a like just to say welcome back, Eve. First, I want to say it's really nice to be back. I'm going to have a very good time making these commentaries with you guys and just having you listen to what I have to say, because I have a lot to say, believe it or not. I have my own opinions and I have my own thoughts and dreams, and right now, I want to talk to you guys about something that's very common in my day and age, since I'm around 20, 21, getting into 21, almost there. But anyways, a lot of the time near this age, we get jobs and it's not very easy, but it is easy. We don't have those six-figure jobs, those jobs where you're on Wall Street in offices and stuff like that, unless you're pretty lucky. And if you're going to school and you're doing what you got to do, I guess that's a different conversation for another day. But what I'm trying to say is that usually the jobs that we get is the jobs from fast food restaurants, maybe not fast food restaurants, but restaurants as servers, or some type of job where you have to put the customer first. And I get that. You want to put the customer first because you want the customer to come back and you want them to spend money, and that makes sense, and I get it. But what I don't like is whenever the customer thinks that they have the right to scream in your face and tell you what you're doing wrong when they are actually the one that's wrong. I don't think that it's okay for customers to feel like, since they're always right, I'm going to abuse this and I'm going to talk to the person that's working behind the counter like they're stupid. And when I get mad, I'm going to go online and make a review about, hey, what's your name? I'm going to make sure I tell your boss that you're a fucking idiot, and then you get fired. But they don't know what it's like to be behind the counter and get told that they're fucking stupid and have to sit there and listen to it. Now, I've been in a lot of situations like this because, believe it or not, I'm a manager. And of course, we all know where I work, Chuck E. Cheese. I've climbed my way to the top of the food chain. Not to the top yet because I'm not at corporate or anything. But I am a manager at Chuck E. Cheese, and I have to deal with parents and angry guests all the time for things that are not my fault. For example, a lot of the time, food comes out pretty late whenever there's not enough people staffed in the back to make the pizzas. And okay, I get that you're upset, but what you don't have to do is yell at me and make me feel like I'm doing something wrong. Of course, I'm gonna say, I'll find out where your stuff is and I'll get it out to you as fast as we can. But for you to get upset, I'm gonna tell you what happened. This weekend, I was working and it was very packed. Of course, we know parents love to spend millions of dollars on their fucking 1-year-old so that they can have the best birthday party ever that they're not even going to remember. But I was working and it was very busy and there wasn't enough people on staff, especially because teenagers like to call off a lot, which is very frustrating. But of course, we were telling people at the registers that it would be a long wait. So they were expecting to be waiting for a while. So whenever people come back to me and they're like, can I speak to a manager? I'm like, okay. I go up to them. I understand that they're upset. So I'm expecting to get into an argument with them. Not trying to, of course, trying to de-escalate the situation, but it's kind of hard to be reasonable with people who are angry already. So I don't know what happened in the back. I really don't. I was up at the cash register ringing up people taking their orders, and someone wants to speak to a manager. They're telling me that something's going on with the pizzas. There's one girl in the back. Mind you, this girl, she's so young. She's so nervous, and she has very bad anxiety problems. So for her to be the only person in the back, something had to gone wrong for her to be the only one in the back. I'm not sure what happened, who left, who wasn't scheduled. Something had to have gone wrong. So she's sitting here and she's making the pizzas and she's telling me already before the lady even talks to me, she's upset. She has like 6 pizzas and we're getting ready to make them. We're out of this, we're out of that. That's another big issue that we're having. We always run out of things, and then when we don't have a solution because they don't know what to do, they just kind of twiddle their fingers and don't do anything. That's why you need a lot of management, but there's not that many managers. So she's telling me the situation. There's 6 pizzas and the lady's upset because she hasn't gotten them. Okay, I know exactly how to handle the situation. It happens all the time. So I go up to the woman and she's like, are you the manager? And I'm like, yes. And she doesn't speak a lot of English, so I'm trying to have a conversation with her and keep her calm. And she's like, where's my pizzas? I've been waiting so long. So I'm like, okay, ma'am, let me look at your receipt. Trying to figure out what her order is, trying to see what her order number is, trying to see how long she's been waiting. And I see that she's been waiting an hour. So I tell her, Ma'am, I'm so sorry. I see that you've been waiting an hour for your pizzas. It looks like five cheese, 5 pepperoni, whatever the fuck it was. We'll get it out to you as soon as we can. I'll get ready to make it right now. And she's like, I want my pizzas. What are you guys doing back there? It's been an hour. I've been waiting so long. And I'm like, yes, ma'am, I understand. It was the principal. I'm like, what? And she's like, I want my pizzas. I was like, okay, so we're going to get ready to make your pizzas right now unless you just want your money back. Because she's sitting here talking to me. And I told her already, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We'll make them. And you're still telling me it's the principal of some kind, okay? So, you're talking to me about a principal. Do you need to go to school? Okay, so it's obviously a principal of some kind, but I'm not understanding why you're still talking to me. If you want your pizza so bad, let me make them. So then she says, any other manager would just make the pizzas. You look like you don't care. And I just stopped for a second because I'm like, did she really just say I don't care because I told her I'm sorry, I make your pizzas? Okay. So I had to get my words together because that day was very frustrating for me and I didn't really know what to say after that. So I'm like, I care. I'm getting ready to make your pizzas right now. So she's like, okay, make my pizzas then. Make my pizzas. So I'm like, okay. But I'm like so fucking pissed at this point because I'm like, bitch, you would not be talking to me like this if I was not in the uniform. Because if you talk to me like this on the street, I will smack the fuck out of you. Like, it would not even be this situation. But it's since the customer's there, the customer feels like they're entitled to something because they spent their money here. And although I do understand, I don't, because if you want us to make your pizzas, if you spend your money here, then you trusted us with your money and we will get your pizzas out whenever they're done. You have to understand that you came to Chuck E. Cheese on a fucking Saturday. So of course it's not going to be slow. You can see the whole kitchen and everybody in it. And you can see this little girl right here working on a bunch of fucking tickets. So if you brought it to our attention that your pizzas are late, of course we're going to work for you first because you're sitting here and you're upset. So we're working on your pizzas. Why don't you just shut the fuck up and let me make them? Okay. So I go back and I'm like, okay, she wants her pizzas. I let her know we ran out of this and this and that. That's the part I forgot to say. I let her know we ran out of this and this and that. So this is how we're going to make them. I start pulling out the screens, getting ready to, chef it up in the kitchen. That's what I do. Manager, Chuck E. Cheese, you know what I'm saying? Make pizzas. So then the lady calls some other lady that she was with, still a Hispanic woman, but she spoke a little bit better English. So she screams, hey at me while I'm making her pizza. While I'm trying to make her pizza. And I came around, I said, did you just hate me? Because that's so disrespectful. Like, she could have said, excuse me, anything other than hey. Like, you don't know how many times I've been hayed at Chuck E. Cheese. And every time it pisses me the fuck off. Because I wouldn't hate somebody. I wouldn't do that. Because I see that you're working. Especially if you're working on my pizzas, I'm not going to distract you. Go ahead and make my pizzas for me, please. So she says, hey, I come around. Did you just hate me? She said, yes, I've been waiting an hour for these pizzas. That's the one who's speaking English. And I'm like, yes, I know. I've already told her that we were going to make them. And she's like, whoa, why aren't you making them? And I'm like, cause you keep calling me over here. And by this point, I'm getting upset because they're trying to talk to me like I'm stupid. They're talking to me like I'm a little kid. And I'm not going to let you talk to me like you don't lost your fucking mind. I deserve respect. Even though I'm sitting here and I'm working at this job, I'm making my money from this job, I'm paying my bills from this job, you're going to respect me. I don't give a fuck who you are because I did nothing to disrespect you. I understand that you're upset and you're hungry, whatever, you got your kids, but can you at least let me make your pizzas instead of calling me over here trying to scream at me about how long you've been waiting? That doesn't even make sense. So the girl in the kitchen, she speaks Spanish, so I guess she can hear them talking to each other in Spanish, and she says something to them back, but she has an attitude. This little girl, she is crying right now. She just dropped sauce all over herself, trying to hurry up and make these pizzas for these women who are yelling at her. Before I even got here, these women were yelling at her because they can see her back here, and they know she hasn't made her pizzas yet. So she says something to them in Spanish, and they just start jumping on her. Like, there's like 3 women by this point, all leaning over the counter, pointing at her, yelling at her in some type of Spanish. And I'm like, don't talk to her. You asked for a manager, you talk to me. And you need to calm down, because there's no reason for you to get upset when we're making your pizzas. So this little girl, she just drops everything. She screams, fuck it, I'm done. Walks out the door. And by this point, I'm pissed, because she was a good worker. And whenever you work with a bunch of people that don't know how to stay on task, you appreciate the ones that do, the ones that care to get their job done. But whenever you lose one of those people because of stupid fucking people like this, and I tried to explain to her, I really did, that these people are fucking stupid. They're getting mad because they don't have pizza. Just think about that for a second. And me and you, we're good. I mean, you can't let people get under your skin like that. That's what you have to understand. When you're working in customer service, the customers are fucking attitudey. That's what you have to know that, or you can't work in customer service, because you have to train yourself to be able to put up with that. And that's why I hate customer service. Customer service is very hard whenever you don't have that patience, because if you can't just sit there and take someone screaming at you, you're gonna go off the first time. Even if it wasn't Chuck E. Cheese, if it was just Walmart. If you work at Walmart and someone can't find something, and if you're just not even sure where it's at, you just be like, hold on, let me ask the supervisor, because I'm not really sure where that is. Oh, well, why don't you know? You work here all the time and you can't tell me where this is. They're gonna get attitudey. If you're a waitress, you forget their salt, they're gonna be like, well, I asked you 3 times and you forgot. Meanwhile, you're helping them with this and this and that. You brought them their food 20 minutes early. You know what I'm saying? You're doing the best that you can for the customer, and they're still gonna get mad at you. So the fact that the customer is always right gives them the sense of entitlement to disrespect you. And that is what's wrong with America. Because I bet you $1,000,000 that it is not like this in other places. Because Americans just have this idea that everything is supposed to come hastily, so quickly that you can't even blink an eye. It has to, because I've learned about this recently, and I don't remember what the name of it is called, but the reason why we're so we want things so quickly is because of how often we have situations where things are so quick. Everything is trying to be made to where that you don't have to wait for it. You got apps for everything, you got phone calls for everything, you have everything at the touch of your fingers. Like, you can do anything, and everyone is trying to make things to where you don't have to wait. So we just got this mindset that everything needs to be happening fast, and if it's not, then I'm gonna be upset. And that's the reason that we're having such big problems at Chuck E. Cheese, because it doesn't take a short period of time to do the stuff that we have to do when it's busy. And the fact that they made this employee quit pissed me off, and you'll never believe what happened afterwards. After this employee left crying because these people were yelling at her and she was trying to do the best that she could, they asked me for a refund. And I swear to God, I was not able to keep my cool. Like, I yelled at them. I'm not even gonna lie. I said, now you want your refund after you made my employee quit. You know what? I'll give you your money. Because I had to keep in mind that I do need this job. And that's what is the most frustrating about it. Because whenever I went up to the register so that I can get them their refund, they asked me for my name. And I knew that they couldn't do anything to me. I knew that this situation wasn't so severe that if they took my name that I would get fired, so I gave it to them. But it's just the fact that these people would go so far because they're upset about a pizza that took an hour, or pizza that they never got really at this point because they wanted their money back, that they would go and try and get me fired. And when I think about that, it really makes me mad because I did nothing to them physically. I didn't cuss them out. I didn't hit them. I didn't do anything disrespectful that they didn't do to me first. and they're gonna try and get me fired from a job that I need, I'll lose everything that I have. But you don't care about that. Customers don't think about the fact that you have a job to do and they're the ones that started this. They think about the fact that they're upset and they're the customer and they spent this amount of money. Oh, boo hoo. But when I'm sitting here walking in the fucking wintertime, that's not what you're going to be thinking about, your fucking pizzas, because you wanted to go and get me fired. I don't understand the logic of these people. Well, I really do understand, but I'm just saying that it's not right. But customers, they really need to take a chill pill, if you ask me, because they get a little bit too upset. And the mentality that they have that they're always right, I feel like we need to break that, because it's our fault. The reason that they believe that they can do whatever they want and disrespect us how they want is because we tell them that they're the ones that's right. And we talk to them like, yes, ma'am, no, sir. Oh, let me do this. Oh, I'm so sorry. Like, we give them that ability to feel that way. But it's nothing we could do because the customer's always right. And with that being said, I'm going to start looking at other job opportunities. And if you've had enough like I have, you should too. So you guys, this has been Eve, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Peace.